Welcome everybody to another edition of the Hurry Up. I'm your host, Adam. Let's get into this. Told myself I would be calm, but fuck calm, okay? Yesterday, the New York Giants played the Philadelphia Eagles, which we all knew was going to be a hard game to overcome, which I said. Many people said it's going to be hard to beat this team. And they went out and they were at like batting practice. They were on like 7-on-7 drills. They just ran through our defense, Swiss cheese. Offensively, we couldn't do nothing. Nothing. That front four came in waves. Our quarterback, our team was under siege. It's embarrassing. This is probably the most embarrassing loss to Philadelphia I've seen in a long time. I can't remember the last time. And feel free to put it in the comments if you remember a beatdown like that. I mean, that was insane. That was insane. And the thing that pisses me off is number 26, Barkley. I love the guy, but apparently Brian Daboll asked him, he said, well, if you're healthy and, you want to go, you go. No. If he's not healthy, you don't play him. You played him and then took him out of the game after it was a wash. Like you either going into this game thinking you can win or you can't. The thing that also irked me about Brian Daboll was he said something along the lines of, as long as we keep it competitive by halftime. Like, keep it competitive? That's what you want to say? That's what you say to the media? That I hope that's not what you're saying to your team. Because that's a defeatist attitude. Which, by the way, people gave me crap about saying, hey, don't predetermine a win any given Sunday. Well, guess what? That team is good. Really good. And we are light years away. What this loss did was show everyone, including Giant fans, that we have a long way to go. That 7 wins that we got in the first half of the year, yeah, they were, I wouldn't say they were fool's gold, but we lucked out. We overachieved. This team was expected to, by some, expected to win 4 or 5 games. I said 7 games. We're at that 7 mark right now, and I don't know. I think they'll win a game or 2. I don't know how many more. They got to go 2-2 in the last 4, which is a tall order to do. It starts Sunday. Your season's on the line. On the line. If you lose this game Sunday, good night the lights. I don't want to hear any more, hey, we can beat this team. No, good night the lights. And it's going to be a tall Herculean task. It's not going to be easy. A lot of Giant fans think it's going to be, hey, it's Washington. It's going to be easy. It's not going to be an easy game. It's not going to be a walk in the park. They're rested. Oh, we're getting guys back. Okay, but there's a difference between guys getting rest off a bye week. Remember, we had 10 days off to play the Commanders. We ended in a tie. We had 10 days off. They came off playing a game against Atlanta, and then we came off 10 days rest and we tied them. And after yesterday's debauchery, that wasn't a good look. That wasn't a good sign. They ran up the score and they kept scoring. Heck, the Giants gave up a 4th and 7. They went for a 4th and 7. They were in no man's land. Like, you know what? Frig it. Fuck it. And then they throw it to the receiver who God knows what Julian Love was thinking on that play. He's like, oh, I misjudged the ball. What do you mean you misjudged the ball? Go hit. If you're misjudging the ball, go hit the man. Go knock the snot out of Devontae Smith. That's what you do. You knock the ever-living snot out of that guy. So when he goes back to the huddle, if he gets up and he's not carted off because he's injured or he's getting the cobwebs cleaned out, he goes back to the huddle and goes, maybe we don't run that play anymore. Instead, you whiff, and it's a 47-yard touchdown. Game is basically over at that point. You're down 14-0. Goodbye. Good night, the lights. I mean, if it wasn't for some stupidity of Ellington Smith blocks the punt. Great. They block a punt and the guy damn near gets the first down. I almost blew a gasket. I said, no way did this guy just get the first down. They didn't. He got injured. Doesn't matter to them. Nope. Whoop. Doesn't matter to them. And we scored points. We always score these touchdowns, right? Daniel Jones has a throwing touchdown to Isaiah Hodgins off of a short field, because they get a fumble. I think they get a turnover by Azeez Ojulari, or something happens where they get a short field. And I forget what happened. And they score a touchdown to Isaiah Hodgins. And I like Isaiah Hodgins. If there's a couple positives out of this game, is Isaiah Hodgins is a guy that I would like to see here going forward a little bit more. He was a decent receiver in college. He won a lot of awards. But again, he went to a college that wasn't a big time school. So, sometimes those guys get suppressed in the draft and suppressed in the process because you're not getting the exposure as much. But he was on the Bills practice squad. Bills did not want to lose Isaiah Hodgins to the Giants, but I think you got yourself a nice little player there. What number he's going to be at receivers depends on who they bring in. Darius Slayton, again, I guess, I don't want to, I'm not bringing him back. I'm not bringing Darius Slayton back. As a matter of fact, I'm not bringing a lot of players back. And the reason is because you look at the regime. This team is bereft of talent. Even the backups. People are like, oh, well, the Eagles are going to lie down for it. They're not going to play anybody. Those guys are better than our guys. They have starters on their depth piece. We have a bunch of nobodies. We have Matt Pert getting ran around by their third string defensive end. Are you kidding me? This team is in trouble. And they got to figure it out. Big trouble. I know that people are like, well, it's a preseason game that Daboll didn't want to expose them, so didn't show them much. Show them what? This is week 15. You've been seen. They know what your offense is. They don't need to be shown anything. You're not going to pull out any wrinkles that they're not going to know, really. You don't have the personnel to do it. If anything, I would be more worried about the Commanders because they have receiving cores that can run reverses and have the personnel to do that. We don't have we have Richie James. Richie James is our leading receiver. You know who our leading rusher is? Don't worry. I'll tell you. Tyrod Taylor was our leading rusher in the game. The backup quarterback was the leading rusher. And the one drive that they did have, that was a long, nice, sustained drive. They went back to their roots. They did a little Daniel Jones action. But that's it. That's all they got. After that, it was good night the lights. They couldn't do anything. They can't even. They don't like to drop back and pass. They want to roll out. They want to run. Like they don't have an identity right now. They don't know what to do. Gary Brightwell needs to be elevated. Because Matt Breida, you need to be the third down back. And when I mean third down back, I mean third down back, third back. You don't need to see the field that much. Unless he's doing a screen. This guy can't do nothing. He came here, I heard, nothing but speed. Matt Breida, he barely gets the ball. Gary Brightwell takes his first carry and goes downhill. I think you'll see more of Brightwell going forward. You need him. But now, let's be honest, he's been shown in 2 or 3 games now. So you're not hiding him anymore. Okay? The Commanders, if they're dumb, will let Daniel and Barkley run on them. If they're smart, they'll do what the Eagles did and put a spy on them most of the game. Because that's what they did. And then when they did do man, that's when Daniel got a few runs here and there. But in one play, in garbage time, our quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, ran for 45 yards. It's crazy. This team is coming back down to earth. That's the problem. Is the team is coming back down to earth at the wrong time. See, what you didn't want to happen was you get out to this great of a start, and then, on this back end play here, what you wanted to do was kind of be average and then play your best football now heading into the playoffs. The Giants aren't playing their best football. Hell, if they get to the playoffs, I know Tampa Bay stinks, but they have the horses to beat us if they want to. If they decide to put it together. This team is tough. The Commanders are not going to lie down. Okay, we're in their building on prime time. This doesn't bode well for the Giants. I hope, and I will pick them to win, but it's not going to be easy. It's going to be the biggest test this team has faced. And if they come up small, nobody's coming back. Nobody's coming back. Remember I said that. If they don't win this game, ain't nobody coming back. Bye-bye Daniel, bye-bye Barkley, bye-bye whoever else. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them don't come back because Joe Shane wants his own guys. You see a lot of guys from the old regime. And I have a few people to bones to pick. Ty Crowder, get off the field. You talk all this big game and you come in there and you give up a touchdown while you're on the field. 253 yards rushing. Let that sink in. 253 yards rushing. They gave up defensively. They gave up 48 points. 48. You know what people were telling me? Oh, we're going to hold the Eagles to 20 points. Are you kidding me? They came out and had 35 against Tennessee. Oh, but it's cool. Oh, they have no defense. Oh, they played nobody. They came out and smacked us. Smacked us. All that stuff that everyone says about the Eagles is fraudulent. They're arguably the best team, if not the best team in football right now. And in the conference, there's 3 teams that are probably going to represent in the Super Bowl. It's the 49ers, it's the Cowboys, and it's the Eagles. 49ers because their defense is incredible. And remember, they don't need much out of their quarterback to survive. They've done this before. This ain't their first rodeo. Got 9 wins. Then we have another team in Detroit who's playing their best football at the end of the year. They came out of their bye week 10 weeks in, and they're playing that remaining 7 games with their hair on fire. Giants, it's time to stand the fuck up. All right, if you want us to believe you have any shot in the playoffs, you got to rise up. Because I believe every game was a playoff game after we lost to Detroit. Once we lost to Detroit, everything became a playoff game. Everything. And Seattle had a hiccup thanks to the Panthers. But I'm not worried about them because they may get in. But there's 2 teams right now that are neck and neck with us. You've got the Commanders, who if we lose, we could be in because Seattle's out. But who knows? What if Detroit runs the table? The Detroit runs the table, and then you have the head-to-head win percentage on the Commanders. So the Giants got to handle business on Sunday. And after the performance I saw this last Sunday, it's going to be a tall task. These type of games, these blowout games, have a hangover effect. And this team, this roster, has a lot of holdovers from those losing teams. And Sunday, the coach was not, I don't believe he put his players in the best position to play. I don't think they even came out, fired up really. And, it's been rough. It's been a rough few weeks for the Giants. Oh, I should say a rough 5-game stretch for the Giants. 1-3-1. 1-3-1. Let that record sink in. Remember, we went 7-2, and now we're 1-3-1. We were 6-2 at the start of the year. 1-3-1 now. And when we were 6-2, we were saying, "Oh, this team's going to be so unstoppable in the playoffs. People are going to not want to play the Giants." Yeah, but what? Giant people are licking their chops to play the Giants right now. Oh, shit. We can play them in the first round? Cool. I'm cool. We'll worry about the other teams later. Come on. This team has a lot of work to do. I don't even know if they'll be ready in 2023. 2024, I don't know if they'll be ready. There's a lot of work. It showed you in this game, we are light years away from those 2 teams. It's not going to take one off season. Carl Banks said it best, and I don't always agree with Carl Banks, but he said it best. The team you played on Sunday had years of quality drafts and quality free agents that they brought in. A lot of those players are homegrown. Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurst, the running back Miles Sanders, the entire offensive line, all brought up in the system. What do the Giants have? We have nowhere really to hang our hats on. Our top 2 stars, we don't even know if they're going to be coming back. And at this rate right now, we need them, and they're not coming through. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, well, listen, we can talk about the quarterback, and he didn't have a bad game, but he didn't have a good game. I think I saw something on Twitter. People who say Daniel's not the problem is also the people who need to know that he's not the solution either. We just want to keep him because we don't want to break up the continuity. What continuity? If this team next year, when they have a harder schedule, because now they win, right? And they play the AFC East, they still play the NFC East, and whatever other conference games that we play are going to be harder. And we're going to have a lot of moving parts. And if that team gets off to a slow start, guess who's getting blamed? Guess who's getting shipped out? Just saying. I think it would be best for at this point to let the rebuild happen and let Barkley and Jones explore the market. Give them an offer. Say, hey, listen, we're not going to offer you this much. We're not going to offer you a crazy amount of money. And let's go. I mean, the Buffalo Bills got Cook in the 2nd or 3rd round. I'm not saying Barkley is irreplaceable, but let's be honest. He's not playing like the gold jacket that we think he is. Okay? He's not playing at that level right now. The level that he's playing, I'm tempted to see what Gary Brightwell has. Gary Brightwell does. And I'm not saying anything against Barkley. It's that if you eat up a lot of cap with him, with let's possibly say Odell, with, Daniel, you're not going to be able to fill in the other holes that you need. You're going to be relying on rookies who, let's be honest, this rookie class, while we like them, has been in and out of the lineup. So it's been tough. So they got a lot to do. Joe Schoen, Brian Daboll, I think we have the two right guys in place. Let's see who they find going forward. Oh, and the last thing is when you talk about replacing possibly the quarterback, a question comes up that I find very a very open-ended question that people use to try to get you back into a corner. They say, "Well, who are you going to replace him with? Who are you going to replace him with? Who are you going to replace Barkley with? Just because you have Gary Brightwell on the team doesn't mean you can't replace him. We can't get somebody better. Like, who are we replacing Richie James with? Do we all know everybody that's coming out? No. We have a few names. It's the problem is we don't like the names coming out. Or in the draft, we don't know. They can make a move and make whoever they want come here. Like, this is the NFL. It's not out of the realm. I mean, Joe Montana got traded to the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, come on. Alex Smith got shipped out. Things can happen. Moves can be made. And they probably will be. They may sign these players as placeholders. And then if they get a replacement, ship them off. Hey, we got this quarterback here. He's doing well. Daniel's on our team. He's a cheap cap hit. The Commanders lose their rookie quarterback, or they lose their quarterback, and they say, hey, we'll give you, 2 seconds for Daniel. Okay, here you go. Here you go. Yeah, things can happen. Let the guys in power answer those questions. The question is, is Daniel Jones precluding you from getting a quarterback? The answer is no. No. He is not this all-world guy that you're gonna say, hey, you know what? We're all set here. He's a guy, unfortunately, that is about average. That can be replaced. Will he be replaced? I don't know. Do I think he's a long-term guy here? No. Do I think they might bring him in as a bridger? Probably. But it's not out of the realm of possibilities that they find a guy. It's not. And quite frankly, if I'm Daniel, why would I want to be here again? We're still rebuilding. You may not get to championship level at the rate you want it. And he may not be here because of the price tag that's going to go up if he does do well. Now, if the team does poorly next year, it's going to be a reflection on him, and he may never play in the NFL again if that happens. So there's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts going on here. He's a loyal dude. He's a good dude, but he's an average dude. I mean, you look on the other side, and you look at Jalen Hurts, you can tell me about all the weapons, but you got to look at it from the eyeball test. Where he came in 2020, 2021, there were still some doubts. 2022, he's playing at an MVP level. Anyways, Giant fans, get angry. Get angry, because it's Sunday. We need everything. We need energy. You need to be pissed off. You can't be happy and say, well, we lost to Philadelphia. It's okay. It's okay. We'll get them on Sunday. That's a defeatist attitude. You got to go in saying, man, we fucking blew it against Philadelphia. We're going to put up a great showing and kick the friggin' asses of the Commanders. Not, we lost to Philadelphia. Now, no. Get in the mentality of if you want to be in the playoffs, it's do or die now. Start getting angry because those teams that are in the playoffs are playing angry. They're playing every game's a play. For the Lions, every game's a playoff game. For the Giants, every game's a playoff game. Commanders, Seattle, those teams have not done anything to clinch. So every game from here on out, the last 4, and I can't believe I'm saying there's still 4 games left in the year, which is crazy to think about right now. Get angry.